suicide is a huge, huge topic in our county in particular. But teenagers everywhere seem to be more and more prone to, and it is a disease, it is a mental breakdown, it is tragic, it is difficult, and it is never a good answer. Because all the excuses that you give yourself, or that like everyone will be better off without me, that's just a lie. No one will be better off without you. So the lies get in the head much more than the truth. Suicide is a topic that very few people feel comfortable talking about. But Happy Crew wants to destigmatize any kind of anxiety, any kind of feelings that you're having, because feelings equal mental health, right? And then we want to be able to say, hey, yeah, you're safe. You're safe here. You can talk about those kinds of things here. I am willing to listen. I am willing to step into this with you. Anything you need to say. So, teen suicide, we want to eradicate it. And the number one thing is, if your friends are asking about suicide, if they're making statements that make you wonder, anything that makes you go, I wonder what's going on in their head, that might be, ask them. Ask, just be direct. Hey, I'm hearing these things. I feel concerned. Own it. I statements. I'm feeling concerned. I'm hearing you say these things. Are you thinking about suicide? Those 3-4 words, are you thinking about suicide, 5, can really change someone's life. Like, oh, they're asking me. I don't have to do the difficult work of saying, I need to talk to you. I'm thinking about suicide. You just gave me permission to say, wow, you want to talk to me about that? Yeah. Are you thinking about it? Yes. Okay. If they have access or a plan and access to their plan, if they're going to drive their car off a cliff and they know the cliff and they have a car, they have a plan, they have access to a plan, immediately call 911 and stay with the person. They're going to need you to stay there. If they are angry, why did you call? I called because I care about you and I'm staying here with you till you get help. Always call 911. If you think they're serious, call 911. If they're saying, no, I'm not gonna, suicide isn't an option today, but I have thought about it and I might think about it again, then that's the point where active listening comes in. Talk to me, like, how often does that happen to you? What's that like? What kind of stuff are you feeling? That's gotta be hard. Really empathize. Don't judge. Keep a space that is super safe and listen, with the active listening. Then offer, hey, this is serious. This is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing you say these things. Clearly it's serious and clearly you're suffering. There are options. There is hope. Like if you're wanting to go to a group and you're nervous about going, I'm happy to walk with you to the group. Do you want to go see the counselor at school right now? I will walk there with you. Do you want to look online for a counselor? I'm happy to do that. We have references. And always say, talk to your parents. Because you guys, we all know, things can go south with parents. But your parents love you. There are very few parents who don't love their kids. And so, given the opportunity to save their life or let it go, they're going to choose to save their life. Parents are super important, and they are responsible for their kids. Always talk to a parent. Always help find support. Always walk with them. And, don't leave. Just be available. Be non-judgmental. Be empathetic. And don't try to fix it. Oh, you had a fight with your boyfriend this morning. Okay, yeah, well, here's what you need to do. You need to just diss him, disown him, get rid of him on social network. You'll feel better. Everything will be fine. Resist that. Instead say, pain sounds like it came from a fight this morning. Yes. Okay. Have you ever had a fight before? Yes. Okay. Did you get through it? Did things get better? Did they change? Yeah, as a matter of fact, you know what? They did. But this one's big. Okay. Okay. But it's still a moment. It's still a moment. It's still a moment. Remind them that just because it's a moment of intense crisis, it's not the whole rest of their life. And help and hope is available. There are all kinds of things. Talk to the counselors at school, talk to parents, talk to a teacher. Get involved. Get involved. But you don't have to fix it. You just have to walk with them. Sometimes you might have to hold their hand. What do you guys think about those things? Have you ever had somebody say to you, suicide looks good. I need to leave. I am not needed here. Everybody will be better off without me. Have you ever heard any of those things?
I think I have less direct. It's hard for them to just be very direct and open about it. And I think it's just very important to remind them that they don't want their life to be over. They just want the pain to be over.
Yeah.
The pain isn't their whole life, and no one is born wanting their life to be over. So no one wants their life to be over. It's just the pain that they want to get out of. But it's definitely difficult to handle the situations when someone comes up to you like that. Because you just think, oh, I'm responsible, I have to fix this. But you're not responsible for their life. You just want to help them. It's not about you fixing it. It's never about that.
You're absolutely right. To help them clarify. So it sounds to me like you want the pain to stop. Okay? There are a lot of options to get pain to stop instead of suicide, which will inflict all your pain. I mean, all the pain. The pain will be magnified. You're not going to reach your goal. It would just start a whole new fire. Yeah, really acknowledging and reminding them the pain is not you.
I don't think I've directly had people come to me and be like, yeah, I want to kill myself. But I've definitely had people come to me with issues, and I've definitely had people say oh yeah, I used to self-harm, or you know, oh yeah, this person, they're kind of on watch, you have to be careful, stuff like that. But everything I've dealt with has kind of been a little bit more indirect.
Okay. Do you feel equipped?
Yeah. I think if someone did come to me, I would know what to do.
Okay.
And came to me directly.
Okay.
And I think I know how to help with stuff that's indirect. Maybe I am aware of it, but they've never really talked to me about it. And so I know to kind of be there and let them know that I'm there if you need me, but not be hey, I heard you're suicidal. If you ever want to talk, you can talk to me. It's never like that. It's always hey, if you want, we can go get coffee this week.
Yeah.
Something more subtle.
Yeah. Yeah, not so threatening.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, in and out of certain situations, yeah, of either my own thoughts of it. I, struggled with self-harm and those scary thoughts for a long time, and as soon as it was out in the air, it was a lot easier. It's scary at first because you have those thoughts of, wow, people think I'm crazy, or now I'm never going to be able to be alone again, or this is my statement now. People are oh, she was suicidal. That's who Megan is. And that's such a big thing to wrap your head around as someone who went through it, that's not the case. Because the second that door is opened of availability to discuss it, it becomes so much easier because that weight is gone. It's not gone completely, but it's, okay, I'm not alone. Somebody else knows about this. And I don't have to be so fake and pretend and just disappear. Because the big thing is, it's your pain isn't going to just end, it's just going to be passed to someone else. And it's kind of a guilt trip when you think of it that way for me anyways, but that was something that helped me get through it, talking about it openly now with people, and it's easier when it does happen with people. When they talk to me about it, I can be open, share my part, my story, what helped me, and then they're oh, so people can make it past this part. And I think that's what's the hard thing of getting so stuck with blinders on and not being able to see the whole world and everything else that's going on, and being in that moment, and when you can kind of pull them out of it and be we're here. Everybody, people are here for you. It makes it easier once the conversation starts.
So that, for you, was sort of a really initial first step that was more freeing. It took some pressure off of you instead of adding pressure on.
I mean, the initial is pressure on because you feel like everyone's looking at you and watching you and everything, but once you realize it's not evil intentions, then you become free to the conversation. And once it doesn't chain you down, that's really when you realize you can get help and it's okay to go get help.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what always like kind of baffles me. People thinking like that they're by themselves and they're alone, and if they go do this, if you go to a group, those people have that feeling. And I think that's when you get that community and that support, it becomes less of this like insane, crazy thing, and it becomes more destigmatized of, you know, if I break my wrist, it sucks, but somebody else has broken their wrist in their life, and it heals and it gets better, but it's time and...
That kind of brings up that whole, because Happy Crew, we want to end teen suicide, and we want to destigmatize mental health issues. And so I believe the key to both of those things is community and gathering together and being together and trusting and being open and accepting and inclusive. With mental health, being inclusive, I think, means making it more normalized to talk about. And I think taking away some of those big words, how's your mental health? I mean, nobody just walks up to you if they hear you coughing and say, how's your physical health? They say, man, that cough sounds yucky. You want a cough drop? You know, it's just like, it's not this, your physical health is messed up because you're coughing. It's, oh, yeah, here's what's happening, and it's normal, and you're going to get better, and I have something that can help. We want to do that with mental health as well. Like, oh, are you having a bad mental health day? You know, hey, baby, you seem a little off today. Am I picking up the right stuff, or is that wrong? I'm feeling like maybe there's some sadness weighing on you today. Is that true, or am I just not seeing it clear? You know, I'm seeing this, I'm hearing this, I'm wondering, are you good? Can I be there for you in any way? I'm totally fine. I just, you know, got allergies. I took an allergy pill. I'm all out of it. Oh, okay, that makes sense. But if you are suffering and somebody says, hey, you know, just in case, just seeing some stuff, you know what? You're seeing it. It's there. It's real. Thank you for noticing. I would love to talk to you about it. And I think that's the way we destigmatize mental health. It's just normal. Everybody's going to feel every emotion on the planet. There isn't like something you can sign up for to not feel these 5 things ever. You're going to feel it. It's how you're going to deal with those feelings that makes up all of our health, the whole ball of wax. Having a community, having it be open, having it be normal to talk about anything, and to celebrate together and to laugh together and to strategize together and to, you know, be whimsical and all those things. That's what we do at Happy Crew. I mean, it's certainly not just a come and talk about your mental health and we have a box of Kleenex and, you know, no, just come and share life with us. And in sharing life, that's when all these things begin to get destigmatized. I think it is possible to attain healthy behaviors, healthy hearts, healthy self. I think you guys do a magnificent job of leading that. And I appreciate that so much. It's not magical, it's not fake, just as real, authentic. What else do you guys think is important when we're talking about suicide or anxiety, depression, fear, frustration, anger? What do you think is important?
I think something that's tough is like if you get to the point where you have to call someone to get help, whether it's 911 or even just a parent, they're going to be mad at you in the moment. Like, it's expected that they're just going to be immediately angry because in the moment they don't want everyone to know. Like, it's not something they don't want to normalize about themselves, but they will be thankful for that another time. So just got to keep that in mind. They're not always going to be angry at you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. In the moment, they're like, why did you do that? You just messed up my whole life even more. But you know, well, that's the most caring thing I can do, and I can't walk away. Yeah, good point.
I think you have to validate their like emotions as well. Like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, like I had a hard day, but like everyone has a hard day, so I'm fine. It's okay. Like I'm cool. And like it's like no, you had a hard day. Like, do you want to talk about it? Let me hear about it. Like release those feelings instead of burying them because that can get worse.
Definitely agree. Because, I mean, it's very frustrating when people say that, especially with people who are very empathetic of just like, oh, like it sucks, but it's okay because somebody else has it worse. It's like, okay, you can think that, but you're also allowed to be sad about it too. Like, yeah, they might be having a worse day than you and your brain, but that doesn't devaluize like what you're feeling. And
Yeah.
as soon as they feel that, they're like, oh, okay,
True.
all right, I'm okay to be sad. It's like, yeah, you can be sad, they can be sad, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Good point. Thank you. Any things in closing that you'd be comfortable sharing?
Community is a big thing.
Mhm.
Having people available and that have shared the same experience is super helpful. Because if I go up to someone and I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about self-harming again, if you haven't done it, it's okay, I still can talk to you, but having someone that's gone through that and understanding like, oh, I know that release, it's very craveable, but let's go do something else instead. Let's go do this, let's go talk about it. To be able to talk about that like deep and scary stuff with someone and not have them freak out and be like, we gotta call somebody right now when I'm just saying a thought. That was so helpful, and to have people that were safe around me and understanding my mannerisms of, hey, I think that you're slipping a little. Do you want to talk about it? Because sometimes you don't see when you're falling into that hole. And to have somebody else right there like, hey, I have a flashlight if you want to go sit down there for a minute, but let's not unpack and live here.
Yeah.
And to be able to kind of pull me back up, and not just on them, because it's very important to not give that power to someone. Like, okay, I got to rely on you all the time. Like, you need to learn how to rely on yourself, and having strong people around you to help build that reliability within you is always so helpful. And it still is. And
Cool.
yeah.
Thank you.